Hello everyone, hope everyone's alright. It's 26 Bond, it's Rob from the UK doing another vinyl update. Today it's not going to be thrash and death metal, it's not going to be Iron Maiden, it's going to be doing another one of my favourite subjects or favourite bands, and that is the American Rock Legends Kiss. So today I'm going to be starting a series of videos which is going to show some of the more unusual parts of my collection. There's going to be books, tour programs, records and all things like that. So just to give you an idea of what stuff I've got on Kiss. This is not all the collection, it's just little bits which I've highlighted today. So if we start with a couple of 7-inch singles, which a lot of you Kiss collectors may have seen before, or you might have not, or you don't own, or you do own. So we'll start with this one. This is from France, from 1979, issued on Vogue Records. This is Dirty Living, obviously featuring Peter Criss, the drummer, on vocals, backed up with Sure Know Something. It's in lovely condition, very clean back cover. The only thing with these white French back covers is that they either had writing on them, which is really common to get, or they were very dirtied up and they've aged, they've gone very brown. So this one's quite a clean copy. Obviously highlighting tracks from their Dynasty album of 1979. And there you go, so it's got like the cutaway for the jukebox, put it in the jukebox. Obviously if any of you get CDs, or if any of you get vinyl like this, most record players will have a pull-up thing in the middle which you can fit it around, or you can get like a little insert bit there to play. But it's a very, very clean copy of Dirty Living, serial number 45CB1226. So I like collecting singles. A lot of people don't. It seems to be a lot of record collectors will only collect the albums and sort of forego the singles, but with bands like Kiss, the actual singles were as good, if not better, in terms of presentation than their LP counterparts. So you find a lot of Kiss collectors will still collect the singles. Okay, the next one is the Paul Stanley solo single from 1978. These were all issued in the UK only. Well, the UK only on coloured vinyl. They were all issued on the colours which signified the album sleeves. So Gene was in red, Paul was purple, Peter was green and Ace was blue. That's the back side. It advertises on here in limited edition purple vinyl down the bottom, and a limited poster. Now the poster is always the part from this which is missing. That's the vinyl. So it's a really nice, striking purple vinyl with a nice label that side, and a standard Casablanca that side. The B side is Goodbye. This is Hold Me, Touch Me. Now there is a mispressing of this, which actually plays Love in Chains on the B side. This one actually plays the correct track. This plays Goodbye. And pleased to say I do own the poster. Let me show you. There you go. That's somewhat of an improvement. There you go. Hi guys. So that's in really, really good condition. A lot of the times you'll pick up these and you'll find that either the nose has come off and people sticking their conch through it, or on the back you get all their filthy face marks all over it. Lucky I've got a very nice clean face, so mine's in pretty good condition because I do dress up in that, but only on a Wednesday. Okay, moving on. Another foreign single, this one. This is, which one's this? I Was Made For Lovin' You from Germany, with a lovely picture cover. Look at that. Absolutely spectacular. This is a black vinyl. This one did come in red. Once again, it's got the jukebox cutaway. Serial number BF for Bellathon 18667. On the back, on the second side I should say, it's got Hard Times, which was an Ace Frehley song. Once again, obviously from the Dynasty album, I Was Made For Lovin' You was the real standout lead cut from that record. I'll show you the back cover. It's quite cool. Shows their discography, along with the German serial numbers and stuff like that. But once again, another fantastic Kiss picture sleeve for a single. Obviously issued prior to Dynasty coming out. because they weren't disclosing the forthcoming album artwork yet. But great track, something a little bit different for Kiss. It sort of does divide opinion within Kiss fans. Kiss were never one to stick to their roots. They were always changing. They did follow fashion in a lot of cases, and doing that track, which is sort of like a sort of cross between disco and rock, it was. They have been accused perhaps of selling out. You know what, Kiss, they sell out stadiums, you know, but they do have a tendency to follow fashion, and I think that's when Kiss sort of made the biggest mistakes during their career. But having said that, one of the albums which was certainly them trying to get more credit from their peers and maybe the more serious highbrow music magazines, did lead to an album you might have heard of called Music from the Elder, which was going to be a soundtrack to a film that the band were going to be involved in called The Elder. And the next couple of things I'm going to show you here is the two singles for A World Without Heroes that they produced in the UK. Now this is Kiss serial number 002. This is A World Without Heroes, the picture sleeve single. That's the album cover of The Elder on the back with a hand. This is the black vinyl. There you go. Very nice condition. Very nice shot taken around from the same photo session as you find for the Killers compilation album. But they also issued it too on picture disc. Now, strangely, the picture disc is actually more common than the picture sleeve. I believe there were 10,000 more of these produced than that one. But once again, it's got the same back cover. This one is Kiss P002 is the serial, P for picture disc. But nice to have the set of those, for sure. Okay, Japanese vinyl was my favourite sort. They were pressed on amazingly high quality vinyl. You got the inserts like the posters, the obi strips, and so on and so forth. And also the packaging generally was fantastic. This is an old single on Victor. This is Flaming Youth from 1976. Of course, one of the best tracks from the Destroyer album, which the band are currently remastering and remixing for a 32nd anniversary release. There you go. That's one of the inserts I'm talking about. This is VIP 24333, and this is Flaming Youth, black vinyl, back with God of Thunder, Gene Simmons' more signature tunes. Now on this one, what the Japanese did, they had a record bag, standard record bag, and they had like an insert sheet which had the cover. So it was just like a floppy bit of paper, and it has the lyrics in Japanese and also English, along with a little write-up on the back as well. So really good stuff. I do love the Kiss singles, but I particularly like the Kiss Japanese singles. I mean, just check them out if you're not very familiar with them. They are works of art, truly fantastic stuff. Okay, the last single I'm going to show you today is another French one on Vogue. This is 45CB103, catalogue number. An unusual single, this one, because it's actually promoting the Alive 2 album. And it's actually an Ace Frehley song, Rocket Ride. The B-side is Tomorrow and Tonight, which is a Paul Stanley song. So what do? They stick a cover of a picture of Gene Simmons on the front. But it's one of my favourite covers because it's just so peculiar for an album, for a song which isn't anything to do with Simmons. You would have thought they would have put a picture of the whole band or Frehley on the front, but oh no, they didn't. They put a picture of Simmons, and that's kind of cool by me. But there you go. It's black vinyl again. A little bit of writing on the top there, but as I say, with these French ones, you did tend to get that. I think people used to take these to parties and have to write their names on, or a storage code or something like that. But there you go, Rocket Ride and Tomorrow and Tonight, Vogue. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's look at some 12-inch vinyl now, guys. Let's have a good old look at this one first. Now, firstly, this is the reissue of Creatures of the Night from 1985. This is a Dutch copy, serial number 8241541. It's got the slightly different running order, different cover. The woman's arse on the back, and this one was signed in person for me by Bruce Kulick. There you go. I know he didn't play on the album, but I've always liked the cover, and I thought it looked quite nice with Bruce Kulick's signature on there. He was a fantastic bloke. He signed many things for me, and he was one of those musicians which actually seemed genuinely happy to be there and meeting the fans. I've met other people in the past from various bands, and they don't look like they're enjoying it. They're very much going through the motions. Bruce was totally different. He'd answer anything you threw at him. He'd pose for as many photos as you liked, and you could tell he was a real genuine bloke. So Bruce Kulick, thanks for being such a gent, basically, mate. Fantastic stuff. Now I also got Bruce to sign this. Now this is a very, very hard to find reissue of the Revenge album, which was originally released in 1992, in May in 1992. Now this is a reissue done, they did two, one was grey marble and one was blue. This is the blue marble vinyl, and it was made by a company called H&H Marketing and Distribution from Warren, Ohio, and they've just made an absolute genuinely quality job of it. It's got like a mock obi bit there. It's numbered. My number is number 1370 in blue, and once again signed by Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer. Now they weren't signed on the same day, because I met Singer at one of the UK Kiss conventions about 7 years ago. Bruce was there the year before, so these signatures were taken about, well, were signed about a year different. And I have got photographs of these albums being sold, being signed, I should say. I'll show you the inside. So it's the standard picture, not quite as heavy stock as the UK standard issue Revenge. And I'll show you the vinyl, because I know we all like to see that. So it's the Mercury logo, Kiss Revenge. Look at that. Can you see? It's just beautiful. Really nice pressing, this one. This is one of my grail bits, really. I'd love to meet Gene and Paul. They're the two members, really. Ace, Peter I haven't met either, but Gene and Paul in particular, I would love to be able to get them to sign this, just to make it complete, really, this album. I think it would look fantastic with their signatures on it. So there's Revenge, blue vinyl. Okay, now I'm going to show you a few albums, and they might not appear to be that different to standard pressings. These are all South African pressings. I've got the Gene Simmons solo album, NAC 7049. The main differences you'll find is that it's white text as opposed to red. Very hard to find these. I found these in a record shop in Weston-super-Mare within the UK. There was a guy that worked for the UK government who was stationed in South Africa, and he came home with some Kiss albums, which were these, some Priest albums and some Motorhead, and I picked these up for £3 each. So if you look at the record label, it's got the Love Gun design. So they haven't got any other inserts apart from the record plus the anti-static bag, but they're just so quirky. I thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing them, because I know for a fact you don't see these very often at all. So I had the Gene Simmons one, Paul Stanley, which is NAC 7052. The white text on the back again. Once again, there's nothing else in there. That's the album. I got the Peter Criss solo album, NAC 7051. White writing. And if you look, they've all got a white spine as well, which is a variation. I believe this one's exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same. Let's put him in a little bit more carefully. And finally, I got Rock and Roll Over, which is hard to find many of the main differences on it. Let me just find. This is catalogue number, where are we? NAL 27024. And it's actually they're all laminated sleeves, so they're quite heavy stock. And that one There you go, NAL 27024. So it's got the Cafe Americana, excuse me, the Cafe Americana label in Casablanca. So I just thought I'd show you those rare South African pressings, and they all play really, really nicely. Okay, a couple of bootlegs to show you now. This one here is a repress of Stoned in Paris, which I picked up. This is like a photocopied cover. I got this in Plastic Wax Records in Bristol, and it's pressed on Good Time Records. So it was just issued with this rather basic two-sheet design, which is basically a photostat of the back cover of the album. This was recorded in 1976 in Paris at the Olympia on the 22nd of May. And it's a pretty good recording actually, that one of the better bootlegs out there. If you want to get a original copy, they came with green text on the front or red. Now, both of those, I believe, were the first pressing, so they were just a mixture of what, some were red and some were green. And I do own a green copy of that as well. And this is a more recent bootleg. This is Electric Magic, recorded at the brewery 21st of October 74 in East Lansing on the Hot Than Hell tour. Released on the Motherfucker Records. I think this is just a standard black vinyl, this one. Yeah, it's like a white label black vinyl release. Once again, pretty good sound quality on this one, and brilliant cover. As Kiss are famous for, they're brilliant covers. And just the last thing to show you today, for today's video, this is a reissue once again of Egos at Stake, which is recorded in London at Wembley Arena on September the 9th, 1980. So the Unmasked tour, when they were supported by Phil Collins' old band, obviously of Def Leppard, but they were called Girl at the time. Featured Phil Lewis from LA Guns on vocals. And this is just a reissue. It's a standard reissue. The only way that you tell the difference, really, is the labels. So that's an example of the labels. I believe the original Japanese bootleg was like a black and white label, but this clearly is a reissue as it's red. And this is extremely good sound quality. I'm not sure if it's an audience or a soundboard recording, but if it is an audience recording, they've done a great job. There's a lovely picture on the back of Eric Carr. It's quite hard to find a picture of him. So there you go. That's the first video for some of my rare Kiss collection. There'll be another video really, really soon. If you like what you've seen today, please subscribe. I've got about 70 videos of other metal vinyl, so it'd be great to have as many of you guys on board as possible. And I look forward to hearing your comments and speaking to you all really soon. Cheers guys, take care.